Hi lovelies, this is Wisom. So today I want to show you another oracle deck. This time the Fairy Wisdom Oracle, written by Nancy Brown and artwork by Amy Brown. So if you know her artwork you can recognize it quite easily. And I recorded already yesterday and I thought I was finished, and then I saw another tarot spec to do the sample reading, and I thought, maybe I just start all over again. But I will keep the card walkthrough, so there will be differences in light and setting. So just so you don't get confused. However, this oracle comes in a nice sturdy box. And this is the inside of it. And here the cards are placed, and you have this little ribbon. So you can get them out easily. And it also comes with a hardcover guidebook. That is actually a first. And I'm going to, let's have a look at the guidebook first, and then we go over to the cards. If you don't want to know what is in the guidebook, just feel free to skip ahead. So, to be honest, I wasn't sure about this oracle, and I waited a few months before I actually bought it. And I'm working with it for a couple, for, I don't know, 2-3 months with this oracle now. Maybe less. I seriously, I completely lost track of time. I don't know, but I'm working for a while with it. And I thought, it's another fairy deck. It's very cute again. Very pastel-y, very, very girly. And I watched one walkthrough, I don't remember who. And I saw that there are, a lot of women again. I am honest that there are a few male representations of Fae, but not many. I think there were like 8, if even so. I even have trouble finding one now. I'm just skimming through. Well, it doesn't matter. That is something that I think, well, I hoped for a few more, because I think her fairy men, they're great. I wish there would be more. However, I still decided to purchase it, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. But I'm just saying, I wish sometimes, but I have decks where there's no male representation whatsoever. But that's okay, you know what you're getting. But I thought maybe it is too cute, too whimsical, and that you don't get any kind of deep or profound readings out of it. Spoiler alert, you can. I did definitely have very interesting and very profound readings with this deck. I'm not doing too many at the moment, and I haven't used it for others yet. As you know, I'm not doing any... sorry, I'm trying to focus. There we go. I'm not doing any readings for others at the moment. Now, for the guidebook, I am going to be honest with you. I do honest reviews, as you should. And so I'm going to tell you that there is something that bothers me. However, we start... Wow, the camera has problems today. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make it a little bit darker. It starts, welcome to the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. We have very general information here. Then about the readings. I keep it quiet, so if you want to pause and read, you can just do just that. Now to begin, this is always great for beginners, or if it's your first oracle deck. And then we have a spread, which is a past, present, future, which I don't know if I call that a spread. If you have seen any of my other reviews, I really appreciated when creators put one last bit of thought in their deck and create a spread just for their own oracle or tarot deck. So, that goes with the theme of the deck. This is not in here. Then, of course, care for your Fairy Wisdom Oracle decks and your cards. And then we go already into the cards. We have a black and white representation, full size. So it takes a whole page. You can see the cards here. And then we have always, as you can see, the title of the card, the keyword, then we have the explanation. And with every card we get a little chant and a little suggestion for the day. And that goes throughout the book. Now, I told you I have a few issues with this. Not the deck itself, but the guidebook. For example, there are a lot of those more, how don't I step on anybody's toes right now? Well, however, I'm going to, yeah, but it's what it is. There are those new age wisdom, nudges of wisdom in here, and yeah. For example, here we have one of those sentences that I hate so deeply. You draw to yourself the events of your life. You alone must take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. All is but a lesson, so focus on what you have learned. I always do have a little bit of an issue with that kind of statement. No, you know, it's that, oh, you have cancer? Well, you must have done something to deserve that, you know, that kind of attitude. I hate it deeply. And I don't agree with it. And those things are spread throughout the books. Sometimes it's something like that I really don't appreciate. Sometimes it's just where I always say, oh, well, that is a bit easy, you know. I wished for a bit more nuance, but it is a typical Oracle guidebook. That is just what I can say. There are a few oracles out there that have a bit more depth to them, but overall, I think there are really great ideas in here, and sometimes you don't need much, you just need one sentence to go on. Sometimes you just need the keyword or the title of the cards. I just show you a flirt. Sorry, I was reading it. A few pages, so if you want to stop and read, you can do just that. Like I said, there are some things that I appreciate about this guidebook, and then there are some things that I don't appreciate it. You know, it's like with everything. For the most part, when I did readings, after I got to know the cards a little bit better, I'm actually ignoring the guidebook. And as lovely as the idea is with those chants, I don't think they're helpful, or for me alone. Others may thoroughly enjoy that and take that, you know, I definitely, when you draw a card for your day and you keep that chant in mind, or use that chant to sing in front of your mirror before you go on about your day, or those little suggestions, it's a very nice idea, and I think some people will really find joy in that, and that's wonderful. Maybe I'm just too cynical after a while. And yeah, so that's that. That is just me being critical, and just a personal preference, you know. There's nothing wrong. That is all the cards, and we have just a little bit of information about the author and about the artist. And then we have a little room for notes, and that's it. That is then the guidebook already. Now for the cards themselves, we have, this is the back, sorry. I should focus now, right? So this is the back. The cards are matte, so not glossy. A lot of you appreciate that, I know that. Thickness, I never know what I shall tell you, you know. They are sturdy enough. I use this deck a lot. So whenever I worked with Oracle, it was this deck, and they are sturdy, they shuffle well, they have a nice size for an Oracle, so you can see the artwork quite well. And yeah, I think that's what we're doing now. We're going to do a little walkthrough. I decided, you know, I never know, shall you talk about... I give you something to look at. Shall I talk about... There, here, pretty, pretty, pretty. And you don't even see it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. One can see I haven't done a review for a while. I'm out of the loop here. However, I do like to do a walkthrough of the cards with just music, not talking. However, some cards may need a bit of an explanation, so I thought I'd just going to give you the keywords with it. And for the rest, I will remain quiet and you can see it. However, let me know what you think. What are your preferences when you watch a review? Because I am doing those reviews for you. So do you like when you talk about the cards, or do you just want to look at the images and want me to shut it? You can tell me. Let me know. Okay, let's have a look at the cards. Attitude. Appreciation. Judgment. Innocence. Depth. Departures. Schedules. Rejuvenation. Self-love. Surrender. Change. Unconditional love. Emotions. Guidance. Potential. Faith. Assistance. Grounding. Balance. Spirit realm. Focus. Love. Teacher. Healing. Timelessness. Manifestation. Adoration. Home. Cycles. The smallest. Attention. Child. Fire energy. Infinity. Sunny. Joy. Illumination. Choice. Intellect. perspective, motivation, passion, releasing, surprise, finances, honesty, intention, dreams, creativity, labeling, growth, spoiled, alignment, grounded, synchronicity, boundaries, flow, mirror, romance, wind, wholeness, and joy, connection, the return. Now for the sample reading, as with the rest, I did already one yesterday, but I found something else that I found more, I believe it to be more interesting in combination with this deck, and I found this one by Emerald Lotus Divination. If I remember, I will put the link in the description box. It's from Instagram. And yeah, I really like that, to use this spread with such a feminine deck, with such a feminine energy, really. Well, you know, all the colors are very, very feminine. And so I thought, yeah, why not combine that with this kind of spread, which, yeah, I really liked. And for the first position, I actually pulled 2 cards. I just have one here now, but I will have the other ready. So, card to describe my divine masculine energy. And here I have believe, and the dormouse came up as well. I put it like that, I hope that's clear. And I found that interesting because it is true. For when we take the card believe, in the guidebook, the key word is faith. So the way my pagan path is led out, I work mostly with male deities, male spirit guides. So it is a big, big part of that, and it's something where I really feel at home. The key word for this card is home. No surprise here. And it is definitely a place where I feel safest, and it says so in the guidebook as well. Let me just give you a little example how well I resonate with masculine energy. A few years back, I was in Bodmin Moor, in England, and there's the cheese ring. I may just put up a few photos so you get an idea, if I find them. And my husband and I, we were there together with the dogs, and we were doing a little bit of dowsing, but also just, you know, enjoying our time there, spending time there. And with the dowsing, you know, I write down my notes, what I found, and I always found it to be a very male energy, very forward, very action, very to a degree aggressive even, but I don't want to use the term aggressive here as a negative, but just the go get it attitude, if you like. Something weird was, some of you know who are longer with this channel. Some of you may know and some of you don't that I am very, very afraid of heights. I cannot even stand on a chair because it just freaks me out. I break out in cold sweat, I panic, I freeze, and I cry, mostly in that order. And so heights are really not my thing. However, while I was there, I was climbing the stones. I was not scared. I was just, not like completely reckless, but that I was standing on top of those stones was already a big step for me. So that was new to me. However, when we came back, I did a little bit more research about the cheese ring, and I wanted to compare my own findings about the energy lines, the Earth's energy lines. So, and I want to compare what others came up with. And something interesting I found was that apparently a lot of women had a problem there. They felt threatened by the energy, or at least very uncomfortable. And that is apparently because predominantly there is male energy, as I thought as well. But that is an energy that resonates very well with me. So regarding my pagan path, yes, there we have definitely something where I feel very comfortable, very at home, and I'm very at ease with that male energy. Sorry, I want to keep those sample reading actually short, so I just move over to the next card. Then we have how I support and protect those around me, and we have magic fish. And in the book, it talks about intention. And I think I can definitely agree with this. So I try to make it pretty. So I can definitely agree with this. So, for example, here in the book, the first sentence is, these fish may be magic, but you are the magician. And I think the best way I can support others around me is with my creativity, with my own belief in magic, if you like. And also that I don't just hope for it, that I sit down, but I go and do the work. And I can be an example for others with that. And I do know, for example, my husband tells me, that I am his inspiration to do the work, because he sees me, how I do have that go and get it attitude, and yeah, go for it and create wonders. Then number 3, how could I be more active in chasing my dreams? Boing. And we have lighting the way. And if you look at this card, you can definitely get a hermit vibe, and that's how I take it. So the key word here is illumination. And I think what is most important right now for me, because I am at this point, I am very analytical, I'm very intellectual, I've taken a very intellectual approach to my dreams. For example, now with finishing my book, how do I go on with it? And during the last week, I became a bit, I did the work, but it did exhaust me a lot. And I was very tired. And then yesterday, I took a day where I just, I was still working the entire day, and still I took, a little break in between, and I was reading up on some more spiritual matters. I was reading upon old stories of Gwyn ap Nudd, for example, and the realm of Annwn. And I took just a little bit of time to meditate, just like, I think not even more than 10 minutes. And just took a breather and really connected with that energy of Gwyn again. And it gave me such a boost. Yesterday I was, in the evening then when I started writing again, the words just flew right out, and in such a short time, I finished like 3,500 words, which is above my average that I write usually. And it came so easy to me. And I think I need to remember that, that those breaks are necessary to go inward and connect with spirit again. Then the next card, a suppressed emotion that I should resolve. And here we have when fairies go bad. So that is number 10. So I am just looking into the book, and the keyword is surrender. I can take a few things out of it, but I won't go too much into it. So we have in the guidebook, it says the typical things, allow the universal God energy to work around you, and the universe, I'm paraphrasing now, the universe has your back, trust in whatever happens is right for you, it happens for a reason. Now, this is not my kind of thinking, never has been, never will, well, never say never, but I doubt I will ever think like that. And that's okay. Everyone has their own view of things. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. But it doesn't really resonate with me. But with surrendering, I do get it, because right now I am such in control. I do feel like I have to be in such control. And I'm grasping on so tightly on, for example, with my book writing, I have that very tight grasp on it, and that fixed idea how all of this will end. And I think I have to let go a little bit, because I know, like, my initial outline is gone anyway. It's not how it happened, because the characters have a life of their own. They do whatever they want, so things have changed. And I really want to power through and really want to get done with it. And I'm not even talking about, not working, but I feel like I'm holding back because I don't want it to end. Because if I finish this book, I'm 5 chapters away. 4 now. I finished 1 chapter, so I'm 4 chapters away. Oh dear. So really 4 chapters away from the end. And I feel like something in me really doesn't want it to end. Well, it's very clear that something in me doesn't want it to end, but it has to happen now, and let it happen naturally without holding on to initial ideas, because some things might still change. I do have my plot points, what will happen. And a few things are definitely still open. There is that big moment now at the end of the book where I still don't know where it goes, and I'm thinking constantly about it, and I think I just have to see when I write it. Because I know how it is, it happened already a few times now, and some things it's nice when you have it laid out and you just go step by step by step towards it, and some things you just don't know how it will happen. Now, the next question: how can I connect with this suppressed emotion? And we have devotion. And here the keyword is unconditional love. Yeah, so when we also talk about surrender, for example, sorry, I took it a bit. In the book, for example, with this card, it also says, recognize your divine self. Remember to allow any guilt, shame, anger, or fear of the present or past to drop away from, so that you can walk free. So there are a lot of layers in each card. And like I say, with sample readings, we can't, especially if I make them for myself, I don't want to go too deep into on YouTube. And here it just says, the unconditional love, it starts with yourself, so start with self-love. And this is a recurring topic for me, because I am very strict with myself. I rarely let go. And I'm pressuring myself a lot. And I am not less strict with others, sometimes harsh. Even if it's always meant in a good way, but I can come across harsher than I intend to. And so the suppressed emotions, it starts with opening your heart towards yourself first, and then towards others. And again, starting again with that this could be connected with the spirit work, And then the last, how can I connect with my inner warrior, trespassers? And here the key word is boundaries, of course. I think no surprise here. So this talks, of course, about setting boundaries, making very sure. I love the image for it. It just when the question asks about the inner warrior, and then you have that kind of warrior standing here. That's awesome. In the guidebook, it says, for example, this card also invites you to consider the boundaries that we place upon ourselves. We often set these limitations on ourselves due to lack of confidence, self-respect, or even lack of knowledge. Release any unwarranted restrictions that you have assumed. Release limiting habits and thought patterns. The dragon at your gate can either protect you or hinder you. What will you ask it to do? And I think that really resonates with me. The limitations we put on ourselves. Stop believing I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I had those moments now, especially the last week, where I was thinking about writing a book. Who do I think I am? Everything is just garbage. I am not original. My writing sucks, etc., etc. So stop with that and take an example of my own warriors that are acting throughout the book and do that. So this is for a quick sample reading without going too much into it, just to give you an idea how those cards work together, and maybe having a few different nuances throughout it. And maybe you have seen different things already in the cards. Maybe you would interpret it different. I always try with those sample readings to stick to the guidebook as much as possible, because as a review, it is not about my view of the cards, but about what the creator has intended. Otherwise, you just do a different kind of video. Just not that you're not, because it's your cards, it's your interpretation that counts. But for the purposes of a review, I think it's better to know what is then actually written in the book. So I really hope this was helpful. And even if I said, something more negative about this deck, about the book, actually, please don't be offended if that is absolutely your vibe. We all come from a different path, and it's fine. It's just my personal view on it, and I just want to give that information out there, because some people are triggered by those kind of things, and I get why, because especially when bad things happen to you, and you realize that you are not you don't have control over certain things, and then you have those spiritual advice with everything happens for a reason, and you draw everything upon you, and it's well, if that happens, it's kind of your fault. It's just something that I don't appreciate, and I just want people to be aware of that. Whatever the intention from the writer was there behind, I have no problem with ignoring this kind of thing, and I just go on. Like I said, there are a few more of those things in the book, but that is not the only oracle or any kind of spiritual book which has that view, and that is absolutely fine. We just take what resonates, right? But I thoroughly enjoy this stack, and like I said, I had a few very profound readings with it, even though it's that very, that cute, whimsical fairy deck. You can get a lot out of it, and it likes to be used outside. It wants to spend time outside with you, so take it with on an adventure if you can, or if you have a garden, just sit outside and read your cards and invite the Fae to to join you. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I wish you all a wonderful day, much love and many blessings, and bye.